let's get started. Welcome to the Online International Fiber Festival, an 8-day event that celebrates the fiber crafts, culture, food, and makers from around the world. Together, we're going to travel from the American Midwest to the Canadian prairies, Peru, Japan, Estonia, Germany, the Hebrides, and Portugal. We'll be reminded of just how beautiful our world is and the people who inhabit it. Let's get going. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to day one of the November 2020 Online International Fiber Festival. Today, we are going to be in the American Midwest. I'm your host, Anne Frost, and I'm going to walk you through some of our vendors from the Midwest, as well as the activities that we're going to be doing today. If you have found this video on YouTube, you're going to want to go over to the website, oiff.familypodcast.com, and from there click on the link to the itinerary so that you can follow along and have all the links with you for the activities that we're going to be doing today as part of the festival. Of course, make sure to follow the festival on Facebook as Online International Fiber Festival. That's the same name of the group on Ravelry, and be sure to chat with your participants as we go through this together. So I do want to introduce you to our vendors from the American Midwest today, and our first one is Be Lovely Botanicals. Be Lovely Botanicals creates natural skincare products that are made from pure ingredients sourced from their own beehives. Jody was kind enough to send me some of their honeybee hand cream in the lemongrass scent. Looking at the ingredients on the back, I can pronounce everything and I know where everything came from. It rubs in completely and leaves a nice subtle scent behind. It also, if you end up ordering one of their hand creams, they will send you a pamphlet that will walk you through a 5-minute hand care routine, which is so important for fiber crafters, right? How often, especially now as we're like knitting for the holidays and we're like panic knitting and trying to get everything done, and we end up with repetitive strain injuries, right? So this pamphlet will walk you through some massage moves and stretches that you can do to keep your hands working as you're preparing all those gifts for people this year. Make sure you find them in the marketplace. There is a 10% off site-wide code. You do get this if you order a hand cream, and if you order over $50 worth of product, they will send you a moisturizer sample. Our next vendor is the Fiber Seed. The Fiber Seed hand dyes American-made yarns using American dyes. Their base yarn is called Sprout. It's a proprietary exclusive base. They are the only ones who have this base. It's 90% merino, 10% nylon, and it is available in sock, DK, and worsted. Now, one of the things I love about the Fiber Seed is that they have 6 different dyeing styles as they're doing their hand-dyed yarn. They call these 6 different methods kaleidoscope, speckled, half speckled, besprinkled, half and half, solids, and semi-solids. Now, I know a lot of designers out there like to have like shawl patterns and things like that, where one section's in a semi-solid, the other one's in a speckled, and the other one's half and half, and you end up trying to have to figure out from all these wonderful hand dyers different colors that match and these different ways that they do it. Well, the Fiber Seed takes all the guesswork out of that, because you can just go, you know that you're going to get matching colors, and you're going to have the different types of dyes that you need, or different dye styles that you need in order to create the same effect that the designers did. So be sure to check them out in the marketplace. They are offering a 20% off coupon code, so definitely worth finding them. Our next vendor is Freckles and Clover Needle Felted Goods. I would like to introduce you to Hamilton. This is one of Marina's creations. As you can see, Hamilton is a sheep that has been felted over a wooden form on a wooden base, so he will stay stable. But I also want you to see just how densely felted Hamilton's coat is. This is not going to pull apart. You know, if little ones get at it, the ears are also very well attached pieces of felt. Marina makes all sorts of art, ornaments, things like that for your home using needle felting, and you can find her in the marketplace as Freckles and Clover Needle Felted Goods, and there's a coupon code for 10% off, so go take a look at what little friends you need to bring home with you. Next, we have Knit Ba Purl. Knit Ba Purl creates playful reflections on the human experience portrayed by woolly folk. These lovely little quirky, funny vignettes are captured on t-shirts, glasses, and mugs. They also offer jewelry, gift tags, and their own yarn line. These whimsical little products are the perfect sort of things for gift exchanges among your knit club, fiber loving friends, for yourself. I'm not going to judge. Go take a look at them in the marketplace. They are offering a 10% off coupon code. Next, we have Labor of Love Farm. Labor of Love Farm is a small family farm that produces fine luxury fibers that are heavenly soft next to your skin. They raise Pygora goats, Angora rabbits, and merino sheep, and you can purchase the fiber as bats, rolags, comb tops, or roving. Their yarns are either hand spun or sourced locally, and they do hand dye as well. They have some lovely colors coming out for the festival. Make sure that you hop over to the marketplace and click through to take a look at those. They are offering a 10% off discount. Next, we have Misfit Yarns. Misfit Yarns is headed by Michelle, who is a Chicago-based indie dyer. She dyes using inspiration drawn from pop culture, such as Star Trek and the Tiger King, and the Midwestern landscape and Chicago neighborhoods around her. In fact, she has created a special colorway just for the festival. This is called Wicker Park. And she describes the Wicker Park neighborhood as being full of vintage shops and record stores and pop-ups. So you can imagine it's like a really fun place to be. And I love these colors. I haven't actually opened the hank yet because sometimes I'm rubbish at putting the hanks back into hanks. But I wanted to open it up and let you see the beautiful dyes on that, going from black to a deep purple into the pink and the white. I am in love with this colorway. It is 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. So you sock knitters out there, you're going to want to get your hands on some of this. Look at that. Oh, I really like this. Michelle does a great job with her dyeing. She is offering a 10% off coupon in the marketplace. So be sure you hop over and get that code before you click through. Ooh, I love it. Finally, today we have Prairie Bag Works. Prairie Bag Works is headed by Sue, and she makes project bags in all sorts of shapes and sizes using different fabrics. She also has a really great product that I have over here that I want to show you. This is one of her rope yarn bowls. I'm going to take that out for a second. So you can see this is made from rope that has been sewn together. It's flexible. You can like fold it up, throw it in your bag. Great. I'm going to show you how to use it real quick, and then I'm going to tell you how I use it when I travel. So you have, this is the medallion here, right? So you take that out of that little opening there. Now, a lot of people are going to think, well, why don't I just run my yarn through that opening? Well, if you run your yarn through that opening, you can't take your project out of the bowl until you're done with the ball of yarn. It's going to be connected on the yarn. So let me reel off some yarn here. What you do is you take the yarn that you're going to use, you lay it over that, and then you take the medallion and stick it through. And what that does is that traps the yarn in that loop created by the medallion. So if you need to take this out, like you don't want to use the yarn bowl, you want to put it in a project bag, take it with you to knit night, something like that, or you're just done, however, whatever. You can just take this out again, and then your yarn's ready to go. Now, I don't know if this is an intentional way that she wants people to use the bowl, but I'll show you what I do with this. So imagine you're traveling. It's kind of gross out there, even in the best of times. Who knows when they cleaned the things last time or whatever. There is this nice little loop right here. And you know how like when you're on an airplane, they have the little nub you can pull out that is supposed to be for hanging your coats? I use that to hang this so that this is against the back of the chair. And then that is on the hook. Okay, and you can see it holds it. The back of the chair would hold that yarn in place in the bowl, and then I can still feed it out that way. Travel tip from Anne. Anyway, I love them. Take a look at them and see if it's right for you. Sue is also willing to do custom orders for people, and she is offering a free face mask for purchases of over $25. So take a look. After you've had some time to do your shopping, then come back to this page and make a choice from one of the 3 classes for today. The first class I recommend is My First Toe Up Socks with Susan B. Anderson. And this is an intermediate level class simply because we're going to be doing some 3-dimensional knitting and some new techniques that are probably going to be trickier for a beginner. If you know me, you know how I feel about socks, but I'm going to bite the bullet and take this class today and see if it changes my mind about knitting socks. Our second class for today is Stash Busting Secrets for Sweaters and More with Sally Melville. This is a great class for going through your stash and finding those yarns that you bought because you love them and figuring out a way to use them to create clothing or things for your home that you will continue to love, but will free up some room in your stash for some more lovely yarns. And our third class is designed for beginner knitters. So if you are just starting out, if you found this festival and you're feeling adventurous, or if you have only done a few projects, this is going to be a good class for you to take. It'll help fill in some gaps and it'll hold your hand through those first steps. It's called Learn to Knit My First Hat with Caddy Melville Ledbetter. Okay, so take your class, enjoy it, have your lunch, have a little exercise, and then we're going to dive into our learning portion of the day in the afternoon. Our first video is actually from Be Lovely Botanicals, one of our vendors from the American Midwest. They take us on a bit of a tour of their beehives and show us how they acquire the ingredients they use to create their natural skincare. Our next video is a lecture about Laura Ingalls Wilder. If you are from America, I know you know who Laura Ingalls is. Many people around the world also know who she is, though, because she created a series of books for young people about her life, growing up with her family in the late 1800s as they moved around the Midwest looking for a better living situation for their family. They're very sweet books. They teach you a lot about history. They're very family positive. I am, as I said, a very big fan, but you have to keep in mind that those books are a fictionalized account of Laura Ingalls' life. This lecture gets into some of the things that were left out of her life from the books, some other things that many people don't know about Laura Ingalls. None of it's like shocking, earth-shattering things, but I found it very interesting and I thought that you might enjoy it as well. After that, we have 2 documentaries about 2 major landmarks in the Midwest. The first is about Mount Rushmore. The second is about the St. Louis Arch. After that, there is a documentary about the Chicago's World Fair that took place in 1893. The story of this event is fascinating, and it has been something that growing up I never heard about, but it has been revisited a great deal in the last 15 to 20 years. And this gives an overview of the construction of the White City and what the event was like and different issues surrounding that. So a very interesting documentary. After that, it's time to make our dinner. Now, I think this might be a slightly controversial choice. You have to keep in mind, though, that as I am picking the menus for people for the events, I have to choose things that people can find in their grocery stores no matter where they live in the world. So I did have a lot of suggestions that were so regionally specific that I didn't think people were going to be able to find the proper supplies. I picked this menu because to me it is a very typical meal that you would find in a family household on a weeknight. You know, parents get home, they need to make dinner, they want everyone to be happy, they want delicious food. This is a quick and easy meal that they can put together. I really like it. I'm not from the Midwest, but this is the type of meal that would be typical. We would have it maybe once a month where I lived, and it was often a school meal we would have. So this is Sloppy Joe's, which is a loose meat sandwich with a tomato-based sauce. You eat it on a roll. I really suggest that you get a soft roll. These are really hard to eat on a crusty roll. It's already a very soft filling. So you want a soft roll to go with it. Then we have succotash, which is a combination of generally lima beans, corn, and some type of squash. Or I grew up having it without the squash, which may just have been because we were picky eaters. But this recipe comes to us from the Native Americans. This one has been updated a bit more to add some additional seasoning and jalapenos and things like that. It's very delicious. The other item on the menu is a very Midwestern dish. It's creamed potatoes. Okay, so all of those recipes are there. And then your dessert for tonight is sugar cream pie, which is exactly what it sounds like. And I think it's going to be amazing. So have your dinner. After that, we're going to settle in. Now, I have something very unusual for you tonight. Last in May, when we did the festival, it was a lot of music and theater. Today, we're going to have a comedy show. Jim Gaffigan is a very popular American comedian. He's a clean comic. He's someone we take our kids to. We've been taking our kids to his comedy shows for years and years now. He is from the Midwest. There are several different ways that you can watch this. If you have Netflix or Amazon Prime and have access to these, to the links that I included on the page, in the country that you're watching from, I recommend that you watch it either through Netflix or Amazon Prime, because then you won't have the stopping and the added commercials. But if you don't, he has put one of his sets up as a playlist on his YouTube channel. So the first video is linked on the page, and it should automatically play the next one through the entire playlist. If that doesn't happen, click through to YouTube and just manually click through. He's very funny. He draws on a lot of what I would call American stereotypes as he makes his jokes, and so I thought it was a fitting comedy show for us to do as we are in the American Midwest. I hope you have a giggle. I hope you learn a lot today. I hope you have a very enjoyable time. Come back tomorrow and we will be in the Canadian prairies. Thanks for joining in on the festival, everyone. I'm so excited to have you here, and I look forward to spending this time with you. Bye-bye.